His family abandoned him. A billionaire adopted him. What he did next will leave you speechless. The boy was born on a cool Harmattan morning in a remote village in Taraba State, Nigeria, nestled near tall baobab trees and dusty red roads. His cry was faint, almost like a sigh carried on the breeze. But when the midwife lifted him to the dim light of the kerosene lamp, a stunned silence filled the room. A white, crescent-shaped birthmark ran from his right temple down across his cheekbone like a sacred symbol etched by nature. His father, Bala, stepped back in fear. His mother, Aisha, stared, frozen, her hands trembling. And his grandmother muttered words no newborn should hear. He's a child of omen. Aisha had waited long for this child, her first. She had named him in her heart already, Bashir, meaning rare. But now that name caught in her throat. Their village clung tightly to superstition. Birthmarks, especially ones so strange, were feared. Elders told stories of children with signs who brought disaster. And this mark was too bright, too defined, too different. Neighbors arrived bearing herbs and hushed warnings. One man said, "Wrap his head for 40 days, maybe it will vanish." The village cleric shook his head. "He will bring you pain." Aisha wept, but Bala was colder. "He is not mine," he whispered. "He cannot stay." A month later, the decision was made. Bala, ignoring Aisha's protests, packed a cloth bag with baby clothes and old feeding bottles. They told the neighbors they were visiting family in Yola, but they stopped in front of a faded compound with cracked walls, Greenhaven Orphanage. Aisha cried the whole time. "We can't just abandon him." But Bala was firm. "We're saving ourselves and him." A tired matron opened the gate. She took one look at Bashir's white mark, then smiled sadly. "He's beautiful." Aisha placed the baby in her arms. She kissed him once on his tiny forehead. "I'm sorry," she whispered, as silent tears soaked her scarf. They walked away. Bashir didn't cry. He just blinked, calm and wide-eyed, as if he already understood he'd been left behind. Bashir grew up within the cracked walls of Greenhaven. The other children avoided him at first, scared of his mark. But he was quiet, thoughtful, and always watching. The nannies whispered that he seemed older than his years. At age 6, everything changed. A tall, stooped man with silver hair and glasses visited the orphanage. Chief Uchenna Nwankwo, a Nigerian business magnate and philanthropist, had come to deliver food and gifts to the children. But as soon as he saw Bashir sitting under the neem tree, staring at the clouds, he paused. Something tugged at him, a memory, a loss. His only son named Chijioke had died young, also with a faint white streak on his cheek. He knelt beside the boy. "What's your name?" Bashir looked up. "They don't call me anything," he said. "They just say that boy." Chief Uchenna's heart cracked. "I'll call you Chijioke," he said. "It means rare." The boy blinked. He was happy as he finally had a real name, not the one that reminds him of the mark on his body. That same week, Chief Uchenna began the adoption process. He took Chijioke to his mansion in Abuja, gated, green, filled with books, music, and sunlight. And he never once asked the boy to hide his mark. Chijioke thrived. He devoured books, loved coding, and played the violin with haunting grace. At age 10, he built a solar-powered fan using scraps from the garage. At 14, he developed a software that helped visually impaired students learn math through sound. At 17, he won a nationwide invention contest. By 18, he had launched a startup that provided clean water to rural communities across West Africa. His mission? Even the forgotten deserve to flourish. His mark, once feared, had become a symbol of resilience. One evening, Chief Uchenna, now older and slower, watched Chijioke speak at a global innovation summit. The crowd gave him a standing ovation. "That's my son," the old man whispered. At 21, Chijioke received a message via Facebook. It was from a woman named Rukaya, his aunt. She had seen his TED Talk and recognized the mark. Her message read, "We told your mother to leave you. We were wrong. We all were. I can't sleep knowing what we did." Chijioke didn't respond immediately. He visited Greenhaven and requested his old file. Inside, a wrinkled note. Male. No name given. Facial birthmark. Parents unnamed. He stared at it for a long time. Then he wrote back to Rukaya. "You didn't curse me. You gave me a chance to be found." A year later, Chief Uchenna passed on peacefully. At the funeral, Chijioke stood tall. He wore a traditional white agbada, his white birthmark glowing in the sunlight. He didn't cry. He gave a speech about love found in unlikely places. He gave me a name, a home, a future. Now 25, Chijioke Nwankwo runs the Rare Light Foundation, supporting children born with visible differences. His tech company, Vision Spark, builds accessible tools for the disabled across Africa. A bronze statue of him as a boy, sitting under a tree with his mark glowing, now stands outside Greenhaven. People no longer ask, "What happened to that boy with the strange mark?" They ask, "How did he become the man who changed everything?" And the answer remains, he was never cursed, he was simply rare, and someone finally saw it.